Hi, my name is Dami. Again. Welcome to Techbytes, where we bring to you the latest from the world of tech and reviews and analysis and everything around the world. So yes, this is episode what again, Ree?
36.
Nice. So yeah, I won't be doing this
It's
alone,
36
of course.
number.
My name is Damilare, and with me I have Ree. Ree, what's your name again?
I don't know why he likes calling me Willie. My name is Omale. I don't mind him. He likes doing that thing. That is nonsense voice.
All right, for our conversation today, we have two people and there are two
Amazing
experts.
people. I like
Yeah,
to use
experts. And experts too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. All right, we have two people who will be joining us to compare the costs and the risks of remote or physical business operations. I mean, since 2019, that has been the new thing in the world order, remote work and all of that. So we have two people who will be exploring this with us today. And if you want to know who they are, stay tuned till then. Just so you know, this podcast is sponsored by Flowmono. Flowmono is a platform that provides the easiest way to manage your businesses and processes on the cloud. So without further ado, Rui, take us away.
I'm not taking you away. Don't mind him. Anyway, so it's this is the news. We're starting with the first one. Dami, if you're to spend 20 minutes on an SMS, 20, sorry. If you spend 20 naira sending an SMS,
Yeah.
how would that look like to you?
I don't send SMS.
What? At all.
I barely do.
Anyway, so telecom operators are rejecting the NITDA bill, the one of long-term damage to Nigeria's data economy. So the Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, ATCON, have expressed their displeasure. This is a controversial bill sponsored by the National Information Technology Development Agency, that's NITDA. According to National President Tony, that's the president of ATCON, he says that if the bill is passed into law, it will wreak long-term damage on Nigeria's data economy. Now, the umbrella body for ATCON is like the umbrella body for telcos.
Telecom operators.
Yeah. And it says that NITDA is trying to transform itself into a full-fledged regulator, a role that NCC is already taking. So this is what he says. He says, if the bill is passed as presently constituted, there is a risk that the agency acting properly under the bill may issue regulations, guidelines, and standards with regard to the use of information technology and digital services, which will conflict with the functions of the NCC. It will also result in double and possibly conflicting regulations for telecom companies in Nigeria. We know that we already have
Issues of over-regulations in Nigeria.
And we have duplicate.
CBN is saying something, SEC is saying another.
Yes,
Now we're going to be having NITDA. Okay, no. Let's not go there.
Okay.
Now we're going to be having NITDA and NCC saying different things. And it's not just the fact that NITDA will not be a regulator, it's also the fact that the way NITDA will be getting its money, it's by levies from businesses.
Exactly.
So NITDA will be levying 1%.
So there's a NITDA fund.
Yeah,
and
they'll be taking 1% from every business that does 100,000 upwards in revenue. That's a lot. Alongside every other revenue
and the money
tax
that
and
they're
levy
getting
that is
is not
being
going to be
paid.
taxed. There's no tax on it.
It's well, let's see how it goes now, Abby.
No, let's not say how it goes. ATCON has said no, and I think they should listen to them. I think they should listen to them.
Amen.
So yeah, AI took over. The AI takeover of Google search starts.
Did you see
now.
that video
Which one?
of Google I/O, the announcements when it was
I've
done?
not seen it.
They
I'm trying
counted
to- I'm
the
trying
number
to-
of times.
I'm trying to use popcorn and drink to watch that whole thing.
They counted the number of times. What's his name? The CEO said AI. It was well over 10 times. AI, generative AI, generative AI. Like the entire thing was just AI.
It has to be.
Like it was interesting.
Yeah, so Google's badge, that's BARD, is now available in 180 countries, and Google is doing so by removing the wait list and allowing more people to try it in English. BARD will also be offered in Japanese and Korean. These are the first two languages beyond English that have been launched by Google as a mechanism to responsibly roll out the product, gain feedback, and use the information to help roll out in 40 more languages in the future. So yes, the chatbot was launched with just text, but now Google is endowing it with richer responses. Users will be able to see images directly from Google Image Search.
ChatGPT, watch your back.
I already prefer bad actually.
Have
Google
you
also
used it?
allow
I've not
users.
used it yet.
You have not used bad.
I've
I
not
was on
used
the
bad,
wait
yeah.
list. So yeah. Google will also allow users
What are you
front
feeling
bandwidth.
like now?
The company also integrates Adobe Firefly directly into BAD to help users generate brand new images. Amazing.
Wow.
Canva. I was already generating images with Canva. We're now integrating Adobe Firefly into BAD. We're going somewhere.
I'll try it out this weekend.
Amen. Yeah, so next one, Twitter to launch encrypted direct messages with voice and video chats to follow. Why? It's for paid users. Anyway.
Don't you have plans of paying?
Twitter CEO Elon Musk said the company would launch encrypted direct messages as the CEO outlines plans to boost communication features on Twitter.
Pending CEO. You'll be stepping down in a few
He's
weeks.
still the CEO, damn it.
He's going to step down in a few weeks now.
But he's still the CEO, right?
Okay.
Great. Encryption in messages means that only the sender and receiver are able to see a message. We already have that on WhatsApp. Yeah, WhatsApp. I don't know whether
Encrypted end to end.
I don't know if it's on Instagram.
I'm not sure.
So I'm very sure of
Instagram.
WhatsApp encryption. In theory, Twitter and Musk will not be able to see or intercept direct messages. So even if government says, give us this DM, no, it's not happening. It's encrypted. Musk said users can now reply to any message in a DM thread, not just the most recent, as well as use any emoji to react to a message.
It's been a long time coming.
Previously, users were only able to reply to the latest message in a DM thread and only react to specific emojis, but now it's unlimited.
You just have to wonder though, like, how long have Twitter had these features in the pipeline before they are rolling it out now?
I think they want to do before it was one feature per year. Now it's just
they were very
pack
slow
everything
with
together.
rolling out features.
Yeah.
So is it that they've been working on it, or
I think
when
all these
Elon
have
Musk
been
came,
there.
they
So Musk
started
just
working
came
on
and
it?
said, let's just roll it out. We need to make that money. More people. So
That's
features like this
interesting.
actually make more people.
So they were sitting on
come
these
over.
features for years, like, okay, no, we'll move.
So yes, let's go on. Meta has to pay money in Kenya. They're not escaping it. You know how they paid? Is it over 700 million in
To
the
you.
US? Facebook to Facebook users in the US. So now it is Kenya. So Meta's content moderation partner in Africa, Sama, has been compelled by a Kenyan court to pay April salaries to a section of moderators it had left out. Direction comes days after moderators picketed at Sama headquarters in Kenya, demanding April pay. The court gave the orders following an urgent application filed on April 27 on behalf of the moderators seeking to have Sama compelled to pay their salaries and observe orders issued in March. So this issue has gone on.
It's been dragging for months
It's
now.
over 6 months now.
First, it was low pay. I think they were being paid $1
Then
per
conditions, health
yeah.
conditions and all.
Health
You
conditions,
know what
mental
content moderators go through, all the things
health,
that they have to see.
that there were
So
none
they're
of
like,
those
there's no
provisions.
appropriate therapy sessions.
And they were for the European moderators,
Exactly,
but
that
for
what
Africa,
happens. In
we
Africa,
didn't
they
have.
just relax on.
Then there was the fact that Meta was like, the Kenya court can't have a ruling on its performance in the country. Then the Kenya court is like,
So this is what they now did. So they sacked. They let go of Sama.
Yeah.
So Sama has to let go of
They
the
wanted to change moderators.
but the court said no. So Meta went to employ another company, Majorel, and started paying those ones. So they now blacklisted people that worked with Sama before. So
getting
even
into
if
Mag.
you're working in Sama, you wanted to apply to Majorel, you're not able to do that because you've been blacklisted. So that's what they're now fighting in court. You cannot blacklist us. You cannot send us away without 1 month notice. You have to pay. And now the court has said they should pay. Amen.
Aluta.
So the next one, Tinder-inspired Cala dares you to swipe left on useless meetings. Amazing. I mean, we have 2 founders here who are going to. I wish I can ask them the question. I can just swipe left. If you send me a meeting link, I'll just swipe left. I'm not interested.
Wow. HR will send you a letter.
Query. Anyway, a 2-person team, Zach Haggers and Paulus Dragunas, that name, made some waves this week with Cala, a web app. Cala, is it Cala? Let's call it Cala. A web app they are marketing as Tinder for cancelling meetings. The free service integrates with Google Calendar and borrows the swipe mechanism from dating apps. It tax users to swipe left on meetings they consider a waste of time or right on meetings they would like to keep. Now, Cala cancels meeting only if everyone who is invited to a meeting swipes left. So if you send a meeting link to 10
and everybody
people,
cancels.
and everybody says left, it's cancelled. So that day you just go there and be like, Where, where is
Where's
everybody?
everyone?
But I'm sure they will
Okay.
send a notification that your meeting has been cancelled because everybody swipe left.
Okay.
I just want them to bring that kind of thing, let's use it here.
I plead the fifth. I'm not there. I'm not
Damn, you are
there.
here. You're right here. I can see you. Yeah, so that's it for the news.
All right, thank you, Rui. That's the news around the world of 10. And, you can check it all out on techness24.com.
Yes.
You'll see this and more.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, to the conversation of today. Yes, it's an interesting one. We're talking about remote versus physical business. This is a very hot conversation on Twitter and social spaces. Founders, especially, are always of the opinion: should you come to the office? Should you not come to the office? There's the four. Productivity is higher when you're in the office and all of that. Then there are the people that are against that. Okay, people should work remotely. You save business costs. Productivity is higher also because you're not going through the Lagos stress if you're in Lagos and all those other things. But today we'll be having this conversation and we'll be talking about businesses too. Like, are you losing money? Are you making more money? Is the productivity even getting any impact?
I know that
right?
some founders actually or business owners talk about, we are paying for internet, so people have to come and use it. We are paying for lights.
Stop paying now.
You have to come and use
Okay,
it.
but
We are paying for the space too. You're actually paying millions for the space. Come and use it, please. So we need to see you.
All right, so it's not just myself and Rui will be having this conversation. We have with us today Babatola Awe, co-founder and CEO at Flowmono, and Akintayo Okekunle, co-founder and CFO at Flowmono. Hi guys, welcome.
Hi guys.
Uh,
Thank you very much.
yeah. All right, so Akintayo, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm great. I'm good.
Also.
Do you stay in Lagos?
Yes, I do.
Lagos people don't usually say I'm great. When they go to 2-hour traffic. I mean, even getting to this office, you were already telling me that you're trying to locate the office. So that's the 5-minute stress, stress period.
Babatola, how about you? How's today?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Nice to hear.
Yeah. All right, so I'll just go right into it with the first obvious question, right? So, remote, physical. What are the benefits of operating either? I'm sure there are benefits on both sides, right? So, what are the benefits, yes, of operating remote? And what are the benefits of operating physical? Then I would need you, Akintayo, to help me with the cons of remote and physical. So, yes, Tayo, you go first.
Okay, thank you very much. For me, I think if I see this from perspective of technology, right? There's this concept I believe in that technology makes people or more human, and so the whole concept of remote becomes more enhanced when technology is better at work. So again, we talk about productivity tools today. You can take meetings from your home or anywhere in your car, and that's because of technology. So I think remote has come to stay, personally. But the form it takes depends on your business model, right? So there's this joke that goes around our office, and myself and my co-founder, we usually say that, you know what, there's nothing you do. A chef can't cook remotely.
Yes. So that's what they do there.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe sometime in the future, you get to a restaurant and then a robot tells you, "Welcome, Rui. What would you like to eat today?" And then you place your order, and then the robot walks into the kitchen and then brings the food for you. But well, that future we wait to see. I'm sure it's already happening in other parts of the world, like China, Japan, South America, and all of that. So, but we're yet to see that in this part of the world. So these are all factors you want to, put into context. But like I said, remote has come to stay. I think it's great. Offers people, especially your employees, the opportunity to work and still have that interaction with their family members. I think nursing mothers will tell you a great deal how that has sort of impacted their productivity, either from a happiness point of view or from accessibility point of view. So if I'm a nursing mother and I'm working remotely, I can still see my child even though I'm working, right? So that's one perspective. But the other perspective for other business model would be if the nature of your business requires you to interact with your clients, and your clients want to see you sometimes. So for me, I think it's a mix mag thing. But like I said, the concept of remote becomes more enhanced as we continue to improve on technology, and that's the future. Uh, Personally, I'm waiting to see. Yeah.
Great. Do you want to pitch in? Ayaf?
Okay, I think just like Flora said, if you look at the whole thing that COVID has actually cost us, it has actually changed the way we live. I mean, so sometimes we go, if you're not even very receptive to, trying to do something remotely, and you think you can always do it, COVID has definitely taught us that, come on, you have to start rethinking your business model, right? You have to, sort of kind of try to accept that you have to have very innovative ways you're also doing your business remotely. But then just to talk about the cons, like you did mention, I think you need to really understand your business, right? And be able to dissect, how you interact with your client, just like my colleague said. And you need to really understand which part of your business can actually, work very well remotely and which one can't. I mean, if you're able to dissect that very well, then it helps you to begin to imagine how you should organize the way you work, right? So for instance, how do you handle your trainee that just comes to work today and doesn't know any jack? Or an intern that just resumed work today, doesn't know any jack. And perhaps she doesn't even know how to use Teams to collaborate, or doesn't know how to use your Google Drive and what have you. But I think the point is that organizations need to set in processes, that makes it easy for people to easily, fit in when you have remote work. Essentially, you have to have check-ins, right? You have to have the right work tools to make sure that works seamlessly. I think I'll stop there.
Okay. Let me pick it up from you mentioned business model. You need to play into the business model. So that's where so this question is directed at Flowmono now directly. So how does it work with Flowmono? Cloud based. I know you are proponents of remote work because you mentioned. You know how you said AI. The CEO, Google CEO, mentioned AI. They mentioned remote like 10 times too.
Yeah. Actually, we'll count it.
Wait for us to start mentioning AI as well.
So now we are talking about cloud-based, management systems because it's remote. How does it work on Flowmono? You can go first.
Oh, okay. Well, pretty much. For us, when we started Flowmono, it was a reflection of the experience we were going through, because we started our business right, in the thick and thin of COVID-19. Very unusual.
Yeah.
For you to start a startup when everybody is trying to hold on to their job and all of that. So
True.
I remember when we started putting together our office, sometimes we have to drive out, quickly pick up the printer, or I need to print something, scan it, and send it back and all of that, or I need to do a transfer in the bank. You need to submit, an original copy and all of that. So, and then we started saying, oh, you know what? Everybody's doing fintech, but we're a pure tech company, right? Why don't we do something different? Something nobody is daring to do, which is productivity. You typically don't find that in this part of the world, and I say that, extending to the African continent, and so we felt we're paying dollars for almost everything. And then the FX rate just keeps rising. So the price of what you're paying for is static, but what it costs you in your own local currency is just,
Way
moving
more.
at astronomical rates. And we're talking about almost 200%. So imagine if there was Flowmono back then, we could have saved a whole lot of businesses close to about 200% of whatever cost they pay for the likes of DocuSign and other signing tools they use today. So, and then we felt that was a big problem to solve. But as we kept deep diving into e-signing, we started realizing, there's actually more to signing. So lawyers today probably move up and down, trying to submit documents, sign documents, and all of that. And we started seeing that there's a global impact we can have in terms of climate conversation, in terms of greenhouse effect, if we're able to improve productivity in the cloud by enabling businesses to be able to run on the go. Meaning, if I'm here, or while you sat with me, I was actually signing offer letters.
Wow.
Before they will have to wait for me, and then
Yeah.
time runs. So the interesting part of it is I'm actually able to do it on my phone, so I don't even need to have my laptop, right? So that's the kind of story we want to write with organizations across the world, not just in Africa or in Nigeria. And so the whole concept of productivity as it relates to remote and on-site is what we're trying to say. How do we make remote become equal to on-site? So it doesn't really matter where I am, I can still get my work done. Yeah.
Let me pick it up from there. This one is to you now. I know there's competition in the market. You already had in-signing platforms out there, and they are quite popular. Imagine.
Some even help
I
you
just
notarize.
let me go off points now. Like you want to do like a random search. The first thing that comes to your head is Google.
Absolutely.
You want to create a form. The first platform that comes to your head is Google Forms. You want to sign something. You're looking at small PDF. All those other ones. So the competition. How do you look at the competition before you enter the market? What made you as daring as that to enter the market?
Trust me. I mean, this question comes up a lot, and I would say that the way we look at competition, it's not about trying to take someone out of the market, right? I think the market is quite large, and off the top of my heart, when you see what the competition is doing, right, and what Flowmono is doing, there are quite differences there that makes us unique. And if I can get straight to that, first is when you use your Adobe Sign today, or your Google Doc, or whatever it is that you use, your document is just all everywhere, either in the cloud, or you've managed to get it on your system, or someplace around, right? But what Flowmono does is you get a drive with Flowmono where you can actually put all your IP, all your data. In case one of your employees actually leaves, you can easily just go back to it and have your documents all in the box. And so we are even trying to make sure that security is actually at the core of what we're also doing, to make sure that we have different categorization levels for documents that are highly securitized. You have some OTPs and very unique things that makes it very easy for users to protect your documents and your IP. And I think those are the other things again that we're bringing to market with Flowmono. Yeah.
Security is actually very important.
Yeah, talking about security and privacy, it's a big concern and conversation in recent times. You're talking about data. Big data is like the next big thing, right? Everybody's trying to get data and all of that. What are some security and privacy considerations that a business would want to take note of coming on board on Flowmono? Or
So I think if you backtrack a little bit to how we all started the whole remote work thing, the first major concern with a lot of enterprises were, my IP is all of a sudden going to be all over your living room as my employee, But again, either by compulsion or by whatever situation we all went through during COVID-19, it was a new normal. But having spent a couple of time in the consulting industry, I personally, my team, we used to go around there and telling organizations, we live in a VUCA world. We live in a world that is vulnerable, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So we were telling organizations that something is coming. The AIs are coming. The robots are coming. But very few people were listening. So security is always at the center of everything we do. Even when you look at ChatGPT, first thing that came, oh my goodness,
this guy question.
So security is at the epicenter of everything we're doing. We understand how important files, IPs are to organization, and we've embedded Flowmono with quite a number of security features, and we still keep improving on it. And security is never enough, so we keep finding new ways to secure our clients' data. But one thing we've done from the very set go is every document is encrypted.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and then to further sort of validate that, we're undergoing NDPR and GDPR certification. ISO 27001, we're also going to start that shortly. PCI DSS as well is in the pipeline for us this year. And these are all steps to giving our clients whatever comfort they need. And we intend to also collaborate with tools like Google Drive, with Microsoft, OneDrive, what's it called now? Is it OneBox or something?
Yeah. Dropbox.
Dropbox, yeah. These are already existing tools people trust. So if you're storing your file in Google Drive, you're not necessarily worrying whether your file is secured or not. And we have our Flowmono drive as well, and we have a secure folder that allows you to create pins to lock your files, and you can only access it only if someone knows the pin. So it's a question of, did you give out the pin to someone else? And there are other exciting features that we're working on. Permit me not to say some of them.
Let's continue from there. So cloud-based management systems, I just wanted to, make people understand when somebody comes to Flowmono, how do you onboard people onto Flowmono, especially for departments like HR, because HR really
deal with delicate documents.
Exactly, I think a lot of things with documents. So how do people, what are the best practices and how do people onboard themselves? How do people understand that? How do people now trust the Flowmono system that, okay, this is who I want to, stay with?
Okay, so the thing about Flowmono is this, right? We started small, just like every other tool. I mean, you just talked about BAD now, how you just started with just text, and we keep improving on it. So Flowmono is just a tool that is an abstraction of what we call processes. Today, if you want to run a leave application, you probably want to go and buy maybe Seamless HR or some HR app out there, and but the only thing you just need is leave application. You're not a big company yet, but with Flowmono today, you can literally just go up there, create a form for leave application, and then start sharing. People put it up and then send to their line manager. The line manager approves or rejects, and that collaboration happens back and forth. So onboarding on Flowmono is as simple as just going there, and in less than 30 seconds, you already signed up.
Wow.
And so our MVP is what we have right now, which is the e-signing Flowmono drive, an ability to share documents with other people, sign that document with other people, and store your documents in our drive. But we have other features in our roadmap we'll be releasing as the year goes by. Today we have a bank that is using our app. We've got Sterling Bank is
now.
Yeah, so Sterling Bank is
worldwide.
our first bank client, and we're proud to say that, and thanks to them for believing in us. I think they have a knack for taking the bet on startups and technology. So, and we've also released our API tool that allows organizations to integrate with our platform, so you don't have to bother about building an e-signing platform yourself. With our API, you can integrate with your apps, and when people need to sign, they're redirected, and when they sign, the file comes back to you, and then you continue to do whatever you need to do on your app. So helping people just focus on their core while we help them sign. And then we've also got our business process management tool coming shortly. So that is where we're going to have the plethora of features for a wider range of other business functions like HR, expense management, contract management, vendor management, onboarding, KYC, and all of that. So,
wow.
Yeah, we've got a lot in our pipeline. And sometime in the future as well, we'll be releasing payroll solutions, financial accounting. And the whole idea is to create an ecosystem that helps you to be more efficient in using your data and running your business processes. Majorly because we now have a Japa syndrome, where, just like the dollar as well, getting developers to join your business is becoming more and more expensive. because people are now priced based on international standards. So we're also empowering organizations to be able to automate their processes without necessarily having to depend on the developer. So all of these things are in the works as we speak. So like they say that the research of 30 years ago are the technology we're seeing today. So
Dami, what's the business version of WAGMI?
To the moon.
So yeah, we can't wait for those features actually.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
I'm
good.
just looking at, instead of Google Forms, all this, you're calling Flowmono a Nigerian platform. You're in Nigeria, you're saying Flowmono. You're not in Nigeria and you're looking for a platform abroad. You trust a Nigerian platform to actually help you automate those processes.
absolutely.
I'm actually excited about the fact that soon it will be like an all-in-one platform for business
Yeah.
operations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you literally can't leave the Flowmono ecosystem.
Yeah.
Everything you want is going to be
there.
there. Yeah. So talking about the Flowmono ecosystem, services, and all of that, what has the experience been so far? The market reception, all of that. What has it been? I know you talked about the amazing sign up with Sterling.
bank.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
The API, I'm sure, all of that. So what has been the market reception?
Oh yeah, that's a very interesting one because typically the way fintechs work. I mean, you can't compare a Flumino to the way a fintech product works. So, for instance, you notice that there's a lot of reception when you're either doing a payment hub, like Tola said the other time, right? It is actually a hard nut, right? That we're actually trying to crack in the market, right? Because it's a place where nobody wants to go, right?
Yeah.
And as we begin to unlock that value, we begin to actually also see how users are actually, receiving the product. Howbeit, we've had to do, some word of mouth marketing. We've had to do quite a number of convincing. We have to do demos to make sure that our users really understand the feature we're trying to create with Flowmono. And doing that, one of the things we realize is that in conversations we've been having with top leaders in the industry, like the CIOs, the CTOs, you will realize that quite a number of CTOs and CIOs today want to probably cut their technology spend by nothing less than 50% over the next 2 to 3 years, right? And interestingly, Flowmono actually fits that strategy for them. We are also working together with a bank today to also help them build a robust platform that manages their business process management on Flowmono. And these are part of the successes that we're really proud of. And we hope that captains of industry will begin to see this value as we use Flowmono to replace, maybe legacy tools, for instance, in the banks. Some of these tools are quite very expensive, and sometimes the ROI is not justified. So I did mention the other time again that when you look at the cost you need to use for a developer, right, to even maintain an application. So we've worked together with a bank, already we're working with a bank. When you look at what they're actually spending on talents that they're using to manage a particular application, I mean, this is a business process management tool anyway. And when we sat down with them, we were able to cut that expense for them by over 80%.
Wow.
Over the next 2 years. And this is the value that we bring on board for a lot of people in the industry, right? When you begin to see the power of what Flowmono can do and how it can help you automate your business processes, how it can help you to re-envision even your spend on technology. And that and many more are the things we are trying to do in the market. And I think over time, the story goes on and we're eventually going to capture the market.
Let's pick it up from there. Bank. So we are spreading it now, financial institutions. How, simple question, how can Flowmono, help, financial institutions, digitize their processes, make it seamless, reduce costs, increase ROI, all of that. How does Flowmono come in, to all this to make sure that, in 1 year they're like, thank you, Flowmono. They're sending you flowers.
Absolutely. Okay, I think the way to also look at that is this. In a typical bank today, right, depending either it's a tier 2 or tier 1 bank as the case may be, a bank has numerous processes, right, that can't be defined by a single software. And because of that, and because they are extremely automated, I mean, you're serving a customer of, let's say, over 1 million or 2 million. In some cases, it's over 10 million. all right? And you can't wait to be carrying documents about to also do these processes. So what Flowmono would do for those banks is there are legacy applications like K2, I don't know if I can mention names, like Process Maker and all of that. When you compare what we bring on board, right, together with these guys, we are able to actually help you look at your process, right? Will help you to build connectors that allows you to interact with your applications. I would say, for instance, in Treasury, when you want to probably apply for dollar transactions, there's a form you're going to fill. Someone takes it up and follows a walkthrough within a bank, and many other processes like that, right? So what Flowmono can do is Flowmono becomes your core process management tool, right? That has a workflow built in it, and the workflow can move from one point from your side to him, and the process continues till it ends. And those are the values that we're able to bring together. And that's not to talk only about that. For the SMEs and also the other market segment. Imagine organizations with over 50 employees, right? And you typically would have documents that you carry about every day, right? Either you want to sign, either it's a case of leave application, or you want to get an expense done, right? So Flowmono easily helps you to set this up. You can walk through your signing from one point to another, from either yourself to your next line manager, and to the ultimate approver, and boom, there you go. So those are the values that we bring.
Trying to apply for ATM and the form is already on Flowmono. I just fill it
And I can
or
just
it's on the
track.
bank, bank's website. I fill it, through Flowmono. I don't have to go to the bank.
Easily. Because I've had this issue
You always
that
have issues.
every time I have to go into the bank just to fill a simple form. And why? Because I fill the form, something is always wrong. Either they say my signature is not correct or something is just wrong. And you can fill that form like 5 times. They will keep sending it back to you again. At some point, I'm like, guys, what's happening now? They call it indemnity form or something like that. There's a particular form that they sent you like 5 times for you to fill. So I mean,
right. You're going to sign up form over and over.
So this is a good one. If Flowmono can just imagine cutting that process to just once, right? You sign and fill the form, you send it back to them, they get it, and the thing is acted upon, and you get a response in
They're not going
less than
physically to the
24
bank.
hours. Life will be easy.
Like-
remote work would be better.
Exactly. I think next question should be on remote work.
Having said that, that's where the power of having conversations with your customers is then very prevalent, because it's so at Flowmono we were constantly investing in trying to understand where the pain points are. Like I said earlier, technology should be helping humans become more human. And the only way that happens is when technology solves problems. I saw the excitement on your face. The bad, AI is how it's integrated with Firefly, and then he jumps on it and says, "Oh, I can't wait." So those are the kind of stories we also want to write. And but again, there's that syndrome of who's going to be the guinea pig, in the whole industry. Yeah. So it's patience, but the patience definitely works. Whoever thought we could get to where we are today, but we're here.
Yeah.
And we're not stopping.
He says patient, but me, I'm not patient. I'm not that patient. Let's automate everything. Let's make it easy. I don't have to go to the bank. I don't have to be signing, printing out forms. I'm currently applying for a new prepaid meter, and the form on the side, I have to download it first, fill it, then take it to the office. I'm like, so why can't I just fill it there and send it to them, and they work on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Again. So this is the reason why sometimes you wonder why startups want to raise funds and all of that. So as a startup, a lot of these ideas are in your head, but you probably don't have the funds, to move at the pace you want to go. So and that's why finding the right set of network that believe in what you're trying to do, really helps startups. For a lot of startups out there, struggling and all of that. So, but for us, what we've taken a different, idea, or approach to it, to say, let's bootstrap to the best of our knowledge, make our product meet market fit,
Go for it.
and then go for it. So
Can you people hear? Give me a master class. Something.
So one of the things you've literally said right now are the things we're looking at. Last week we were in Abuja with Nigerian Bar Association, having conversations with them saying, hey, how can we help you, bring efficiency into the legal system? So what are your pain points? So now that you've talked about this, we're definitely going to reach out to NEPA and say, hey, look, you know what? How can we help create that experience?
We have
for
less people at the offices.
Yeah,
Collect
absolutely.
your 10% consultancy fee.
But again, that willingness to want to accept technology has to be there, So sometimes when problems like that linger, it's not that there's no technology that can solve it. It's just the willingness to want to accept that change.
Just to talk about that, I know you in the course of conversation you mentioned finance, you mentioned legal, you mentioned power and all of that. The other sectors, are there businesses? Also, is there like a minimum for a business to sign up and utilize the full power of Flowmono?
So today, as an SME, you can literally sign up on Flowmono in less than 30 seconds. You have a 14-day trial. Use it for whatever you want to use it for. Like I said, we have a couple of features coming up. We have vendor management, contract management, but we're also working with a couple of researchers to try and get more prevalent use cases for small businesses. We've got the Flowmono expense. We've got this Flowmono invoicing. We're going to ship that sometime later this year. That will help small businesses to be able to manage their invoices and expenses, and also be able to make payments and receive payments. So you generate an invoice to your clients, and then you can receive them. So for instance, TechNext, when people pay you for adverts and stuff, you just go to Flowmono, you generate the invoice, send it to them, and there's a link there they can pay, and then you get a notification. Wow. And if that process needs to go through a workflow, we already have a dynamic workflow tool that you can just latch on. And before you know what's happening, almost everything is happening, seamlessly on the same platform. But, the beautiful thing about Flowmono is when Flowmono reaches that ecosystem phase where businesses can actually talk to businesses on Flowmono. And that's the real power of Flowmono.
So if Rui is a business on Flowmono and you're owing me money, I can tell Flowmono to
What's
blacklist.
those examples?
Let's leave that for the bank.
So the road to the full ecosystem phase, right? So I can say this is phase one. Absolutely. Is that what it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how long are we waiting for SMEs that are ginger that want to sign up on Flowmono now? What's the timeline like? Where should I go?
Right now, go there and start telling us what you need us to create for you. And we'll do that. That's the same way ChatGPT has grown. It started with ChatGPT, I think.
Yeah, now it's GPT 4.
GPT-4.
Yeah.
And there's a new one I heard. So it's customer feedback, that helps your product mature.
Yeah. So this one is for you. Phase one. You said phase one. And they agreed, so yeah, phase one. So during this phase one, have you had to invest to help to promote remote business operations? Have you had to invest in specific tools, or technology, that target a certain market? How has it been like? What are the tools rather, and how has it been like?
Okay. So during the phase one, so most of what we've done actually is to be talking and engaging our customers, right? And having iterations on. Okay, what have you, what should you not have? And of course, we are also doing a lot of enhancement in terms of, what we're getting from user feedback. So on an earlier version of Flowmono, so more recently, we actually released another version of it. And you would realize that a lot of the feedbacks that we've taken have actually helped us also improve the product. Now, it's so cool when you sign on the dashboard now, you can see your notification for items that are in your queue. So you can easily just click on it, take an action, if you want to sign a document or you want to reject it. So all of that, the user engagement that we're having. Again, more recently, we have also been engaging with the Nigerian Bar Association, to be honest. And you see, we see this from value points where we see them as a custodian of agreements, right? We see them as custodians of contracts, right? And that's part of the reason why we feel who are the stakeholders that we should be engaging with this. And we realize that there are quite a number of use cases holding in that industry that can help us to, propel, the power of what Flowmono can do.
Again, wag me.
Yeah, wag me, right? Yeah, I just want to touch on the pricing. So could you tell us what are the pricings available on Flowmono?
Is it affordable?
Is it
Or not?
exactly compared to the international ones that have
Yes.
to be looking for cards to use?
It's
Exactly.
pretty affordable. Yeah, on Flowmono as a freelancer, you can get on it Flowmono with first your 14-day trial, and after that you get to pay 3,000 per month.
How do we pay? Oh, we don't have to get a dollar card to pay.
No, you don't have to use a dollar
Okay,
card.
great.
Just use your Mastercard.
Amen.
Very important.
Tum, tum, tum.
Okay.
And, for I think professional users, and those are users that are between up to 5 of them. Yeah. We also give you Flowmono for I think 4,000 naira. And what's the difference there is that you get to have a larger drive. On the other version, you have 50 gig. The next version, you have I think 70 gig, 100. I'm not sure now. And then
500. I think 500.
and then on
Wow.
the enterprise version, you
500 gig.
1
have
terabyte.
higher.
Yeah.
So what you see is that we've seen that there are users in different phases, right? So as an individual, if you have your freelance business that you do, you can just go in on Flowmono and just buy one user and just easily use it. And then if you're the big organization that have you just want 5 users, you go for the professional. And then if you are an enterprise user that also wants some other on-demand features and all of that, you go for the enterprise version the enterprise subscription for Flowmono. Trust me, and from part of the market research we've done, some of our competitors charge as high as $25 for the same thing. But again, we are not even trying to come from the point of affordability. We're saying that we've got great value embedded inside Flowmono, and we also try to understand our customers in a way that our competitors don't. Especially that we're also fashioning something for not just the African market, but also either it's Asia and all of that. And if you begin to look at all of this, you would realize that when you see the features we are building out in Flowmono over time, we begin to make so much difference in what makes us different from our competitors. So, for instance, a lot of our competitors don't have all the features that we've mentioned here, and those things we believe are going to make us unique.
So get into the ecosystem now in phase 1 so that you can be legacy user by the time you get to phase 4.
I just said, which of you is good in maths? Which of you is good in maths?
Okay.
Wow.
It depends on the kind of math. Depends on the kind of math.
So I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to ask. So when a business onboarded on Flowmono, what percentage, because they are remote now, they're looking towards working, doing remote operations. So what percentage of cost are they going to, drop, by the time they are onboarded?
Okay, if I may just jump in there. Just in 2021 and 2022, there was a report that paper mills, right? The cost of paper went up by over 300%, right, in 2022. And when you begin to see the impact of that, right, as you begin to reduce the use of paper, and not just that, right, part of our goal is actually to bring about 40 million SMEs to help them to be more socially responsible and create a very green environment. So we are very big on social impact, right? And we believe that this has other costs that the business is not even looking at. I mean, what cost do you put the cost of destroying the environment, right? But then, having said that, apart from you saving your cost of paper by over 50%, even in our own case, we virtually just do most of our processes through Flowmono today, right? When it has to do with approval, we've cut down our paper consumption by over 50%. And we would expect that begins to also go down as we go into the future.
That's interesting. So, for now, Flowmono is only in Nigeria, right? Or are we international?
It's all over the world.
Ah, awesome.
Why do you think I was saying? Why do you think I was saying to the?
That's interesting. That's massive. So all anybody just needs to do is go to flowmono.com from wherever you are and sign up and get up on the platform.
Absolutely.
Oh, great. I
Yeah.
think this has been an interesting and insightful conversation. I mean, especially the fact that this is phase one, and with the faces and the tools and the applications and the features you've mentioned
Yeah,
today.
waiting for.
Yeah, Flowmono is about to become like your go-to all-in-one tool for business operations, productivity, everything. So you literally start a business on Flowmono, and by the time you have 500 staff, everything is still going on Flowmono. That's going to be massive. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. I don't know if you have any last words, anything. When are we looking at?
I think I would just say, I mean, why don't you just jump on Flowmono today, right? I mean, be more social, be more, responsible environmentally, and you can also save a lot of your spend by using Flowmono.
Use
Great.
Flowmono. Use Flowmono.
Yeah.
Use Flowmono.
maybe they will sign you as ambassador.
I think for me, just a word of encouragement to startups out there, or younger ones trying to do something. I was telling my team, and I said, "Hey guys, whatever you think, as long as you can think it out, and you can begin to see it in your mind, the universe begins to conspire in your favor." And the illustration is very simple. If you've never thought of coming to work, you're never going to find yourself in the office unless someone kidnaps you and drops you here. So the journey starts from the mind. If you're trying, keep keep at it, stay focused, and you will get there someday.
He has given us 2 master classes today.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us today. As it's our custom, the conversation doesn't end here, because we would always have listeners, viewers who want to catch up with you, maybe ask more questions about Flowmono and other things. So what handles can they reach you on? Flowmono, your personal handles, which one?
Flowmono Inc. on all platforms.
Awesome.
And you can catch me on all social media. Just search for Babatola Awe.
Okay, great. How about you? Do you want to?
You can catch me on LinkedIn. Tayo Okekunle is the name, and also other social media platforms.
Awesome. Rui, do you want to share yours?
Just Omole Omori. Unique. Can't find it anywhere else.
Mine is Oluwadamilare Akintayo. And you can reach me on Knockdown07 on other platforms, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, don't forget, this is Techbytes by TechNext. You can reach TechNext at technext.ng on all platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Telegram.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And in case you're just joining in, this is Techbytes. There are over 30 episodes for you to
There
listen
are 35 other episodes.
Yeah,
should
so
binge
you
listen.
should.
Binge
Yeah,
listen.
this weekend.
This weekend, just sit down.
Just go on and
Trust
listen.
me, you enjoy it.
On all platforms as well: Amazon,
YouTube,
Spotify,
Facebook.
Apple, YouTube, Facebook, Samsung,
Twitter.
Podcast Index, RSS, everywhere. We are global too.
We global too.
All right, you will come to your ears and your eyes next time. Take care. Enjoy.